This is Kanisha Grayson, founder and CEO of The Art of Applying. The Art of Applying helps people from all over the world get into the world's best graduate schools and get money to pay for it. Today, we have an audio-only lightning client interview. We're going to call her Rebecca just to protect her privacy. Know that that's not her real name, but it's her name for today. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
So what great news are we celebrating today?
Today we are celebrating the fact that I was admitted to Tuck at Dartmouth, also Darden at UVA, and I actually was awarded a half tuition scholarship at Darden, and I was also waitlisted at Kellogg.
Wow, those are fantastic results, and I got excited all over again. Thank
you.
Yeah, Darden, awesome. So I'm going to keep it concise. I think what I'll ask is, one of the things clients or people watching or listening to these stories always want to know is as much of your stats that you're willing to share. By that, I mean age, GPA, years of work experience, GMAT or GRE score, whatever you want to share. You can be specific or you can give little general ranges.
Okay. Well, I am a 26-year-old female working in finance. I've been working for almost 4 years, and my greatest weakness in my application was my test scores. So I am not comfortable disclosing what I took, but I actually struggled with the GMAT a few times and then switched to the GRE and ended up submitting a few different GRE scores that eventually got me into my top choices.
Oh, awesome. And how did you find out about the Art of Applying, and what made you choose to work with us?
I actually Googled consultants to help me with, I think my main thought behind this process was I liked my story, and I thought that I had a good idea for what I wanted to do after business school, and I really knew that going to business school was going to be what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how to craft that story in my essays. And I think because I had such good material, but am not very good at articulating that in essays, that I knew that I needed help with having someone to help me think through how to write those stories, in addition to getting advice on when to, switch from the GMAT to the GRE, or which school should I apply to, or when should I start visiting schools. And just having someone and having the Art of Applying to help me along the way really gave me the confidence to not only keep going when the journey got a little bit tough at times, but then to know that I was on the right track and eventually got in.
Awesome. And how surprised were you when you not only got in with scores that, maybe other people would think you wouldn't get in at all, but to get half tuition scholarship from Darden as well?
I was floored. I was completely taken aback and honored. And I think that it really was about my story and about the fit that I have with Darden that made them see that I was a great candidate for their program. And I think that it was a merit scholarship, so I didn't apply for it, but they looked at my application and thought that I, was worthy of that money. So I think after finding out that not only did I get in, but they wanted me enough to help pay for school was the best feeling ever. And I was completely surprised and shocked and happy.
Awesome. And what would you say to other people who might be struggling with the test, maybe struggling with the GMAT, switching over to the GRE, just not scoring where they want to score, who are like, hey, I work in finance, or I work in consulting, or I don't know, I know I'm smart, but this test is just kicking my butt, and I don't know, can these people really help me? What would you say to those people?
Just keep going. And I think that I put my head down and wanted it badly enough to know that, I did put a pause in other parts of my life to make sure that I got the scores that I wanted. I actually ended up studying for a full year. So I started studying in January of 2018 and took my last GRE actually the day that I was submitting one of my applications.
Wow.
So it was a full year-long process. And I think having my consultant and everybody at Art of the Applying to keep cheering for me and giving me advice when I was feeling really down was very helpful, because not everybody in my life knew how this process worked. So talking to my parents and friends and bosses wasn't the same as having someone like at the Art of Applying who knew what I was going through to say, you're doing great, keep going, this will be worth it at the end. And now it feels crazy to be on the other side of it, but it definitely is worth it at the end. And I kind of don't even remember how bad it was because it feels so good now to be in. But just know that your scores are just one piece of the application, and really being able to tell the rest of the story and having, the extracurriculars and meeting people and networking and talking to people at the school to really understand what the program is, to see if you're a good fit, is just, if not more important than the test scores, along with the interview process. I think I was very good at interviewing, and I think once people met me and I was able to articulate my other strengths, that it definitely helped as well.
Awesome. And what last encouragement or message would you like to give? You can give it to anyone, a general person, or maybe speak to women in finance, people with whatever. Any last thing you want to say, Rebecca?
I think that for women thinking about business school, it definitely feels tough at times when a lot of my male peers, especially in finance, were scoring really high on these tests and making me feel like, oh, if I don't hit this score, I can't even apply. That was sort of a hurdle that I had to get over, and thinking that, you know what, I still can apply even with scores that are at the low end of the range or in the middle of the range, but to know that everybody has their own version of the story, and it's best to keep sort of on your own path and know that what you're doing would be right for you, and to try and block out the noise when people are telling you their opinions about what the school's looking for, because nobody really knows what the school's looking for until, that process comes around. So try not to get bogged down by other people's advice who might not necessarily know what they're talking about.
That's right. Awesome. And one last thing I just want to say, everyone, is notice, I want you to understand that Rebecca's journey and her work with us isn't over. So she's been admitted to Tuck. Awesome. Admitted to Darden with a half tuition scholarship. Amazing. But she's waitlisted at Kellogg, right? So Rebecca and I are about to strategize after we finish up this interview about how to get her off the waiting list at Kellogg. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's not just about work with a company and then submit your applications and put your feet up. This is a long journey. So I just wanted to point that out. All right, well, that's Rebecca's story. Rebecca, I'm so excited for you, very proud of you, and look forward to our little session that we're about to have, where we can figure out how to get you off this Kellogg wait list so that you have even more choices.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Bye.
Thanks for watching our video. For more videos just like this, make sure you click subscribe. And if you want to work with us on your graduate school applications, visit us at theartofapplying.com or click on the link below in the description.